Welcome back to my channel. Let's begin with our modern theories of origin of Earth and evolution. So, previously we discussed the Elliott theories or ancient theories, four theories that we discussed in our Elliott sections. Let us move into our modern theories of origin and evolution of the Earth. Okay. So, the first three proposed were the Otto Schmidt by Interstellar Hypothesis. So, what he explained is, according to him, in atmosphere there present a large amount of dust particles and matter, so which has its own angular momentum and velocity. So over a period of time, due to its own angular momentum and velocity, they leads to the formation of disc-shaped materials. So, and again they bifurcate. Bifurcate means dividing into two parts or two particles. So they bifurcated into individual orbits and separated from among those. So these two individual orbits will gather at one particular place. So according to him, the region where these all divided particles of orbits, where this gathered together, is known as the bigger particles. Leads to the formation of big size particles that considered as the asteroids. So these asteroids are formed by these bigger particles. So, and small particles present in the atmosphere, due to some attraction forces, come close to these asteroids and leads to the formation of planets. And for a period of time, along with these planets, there forms a satellites around the planets. So the main disadvantage or drawback of his theory was it doesn't explain how there is a large amount of dust and particles present in the atmosphere. That was one of the major criticism of his theory. And the next second theory was explained by the it was the Nova hypothesis. It was explained by the Leighton and Halon and Leighton. So what he explained mainly is that he considered sun and companion star. The term companion meaning is that the object which has the ability to travel with another object or particle for a long time, known as it is the meaning of the companion. So this companion, according to him, the companion star has a large mass than the sun, which he considered. So what happens means, due to again large gravitational force or some other attraction force, this comes close to the sun and then leads to the ejection of particles took place. So what happens means, this ejection of particles over a period of time leads to the formation of planets, and these planets again they leads to the formation of satellites around them. So like that the planets and satellites are formed. So what he mainly drawback or disadvantage of his theory is that he doesn't explain the rotational motion of the sun. He simply said that he considers the companion star which has a large mass body than the sun, and after that, due to some attraction forces, it comes and bifurcate along with the bulge at the outermost part of the sun, and this leads to the formation of forming the planets, and correspondingly over a period of time leads to the formation of satellites. But he doesn't explain the rotational motion of the sun. That is a major criticism of this theory. So up to now, what we discussed, all theories are nothing, friends. I will just brief you about once what the theories up to now we discussed is. So what our main concept, what we are looking at, origin of Earth and evolution, how the Earth is formed and how it is evolved. That is the main concept we are saying. That means what our main concept, how it is forming and by which parameters it is forming. That is Earth. That is also one of the planet. So Earth, whether it may be Earth planet or any other planets, how they are actually formed, and where there is the origin of these planets. That is our main concept. So up to now, what we have seen, so many theories we have seen for ancient theories, and now we discuss two modern theories. And further foremost coming theories also we will discuss in the same concept. Nothing, friends. What our main concept we are discussing up to now is, initially there is a nebula or hot body, and after that a companion star, intruding star or wandering star, whatever it may be. Due to some attraction forces or gravitational forces, over a period of time this comes and bulges around at the outermost part of the sun. So what happens means, when this occurs, this leads to the ejection of mass particles. In one of the theory, in planetesimal theory, which was proposed by Chamberlain and Moulton, we see that this leads to the formation of large body that is known as planetesimal, according to his theory. And some others said that due to these small particles which have its own angular velocity and momentum, they leads to the formation of concentric rings, and this leads to the formation of planets and satellites accordingly. So what is main happening here, friends? Due to some gravitational forces or attraction forces, or due to its own angular velocity and momentum, they corresponding forms angular discrete rings, and this leads to the formation of planets, satellites, subplanets, all this will occur. That is the main concept that is formed. That means a planet is forming means that only Earth we are distant. That is the origin of Earth and evolution. Like that, other planets, maybe Jupiter, Venus, whatever it may be, other planets also similarly will form like this. And and we have to know this also. What is planet? Planet is nothing but it's a celestial body which is distinguished from the fixed stars by having the apparent motion of its own. That is known as a planet. And satellite is nothing but it's an orbit which is kept in orbit. Satellite is an artificial body kept in the orbiting path of the sun in order to collect information or for the communication purposes. That is known as that is recording of the satellite. And the asteroid, what we discussed is that it is a small rocky body which is also kept in the orbiting path of the sun. We can find a large number of this large size of the asteroids in between the planets Jupiter and Mars. That was regarding the asteroid. So we see now today we discussed the first thing proposed by Otto Schmitz, mainly concentrating the interstellar hypothesis. So what he said, he doesn't explain how this large amount of dust particles present. That only we see. And he said that the mass, the waste materials and cloud particles, dust particles present in the atmosphere leads to the formation of stellar orbits. Stellar means related to stars, similarly related to stars. So having that properties, this leads to the formation of corresponding individual orbits, and they leads to the formation of asteroids, and they leads to the formation of planets, and correspondingly around the planets they leads to the formation of satellites. But the major criticism what we discussed in this, it doesn't explain how this large amount of dust particles, and along with that, according to the recent theory, what's the fact is the asteroids are formed by the disintegration of planets. But what he said is absolutely and quite opposite to the fact. So that was the main criticism. And the second theory we discussed today is that the theory proposed by the Nova hypothesis. It happens due to theory Nova hypothesis proposed by Cole and Littleton. What they explain mainly is based on the super explosion. A sun and this large a star, a companion star with large mass. Companion means that already I explained. Due to this bulging or some other forces, they come together and there is the ejection of mass to space. So it doesn't explain the motion of the sun. That is rotation motion of the sun. It doesn't explain. That is the reason. So friends, nothing origin evolution of the sun. Whatever this is. The main concept is that due to some other forces, maybe gravitation or attraction, this will comes together and they leads to the formation or ejection of some particles to this, or it forms some other discrete rings and they leads to the formation of planets. After formation of planets, they leads to the formation of subplanets or satellites around them. That is the main consequence. Apart from nothing is. Okay, that's it for today. We will continue the other theories in the next class. Okay, as usually, let's move it out later. So that is the main concept of our regarding the modern theories of our Earth. So the theories explain about the formation and evolution of Earth. Okay, according to G.K. Watt, today the largest river in the world, the third largest river in the world is what is that? Cheng. That is means it also known as Ange, which has a origin at Qinghai and Tanglar mountains. It has the name is different, right? Because of it is present in China. It has a mouth set Shanghai and East China